The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA's heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
This is Mike Bolo of Lexicon Valley.
And I'm Bob Garfield. Are you one of those people who sometimes uses words?
Do you communicate or acquire information with, language?
Hey, us too. So join us on Lexicon Valley to chew over the history, culture, and many mysteries of English, plus some wisecracks.
Find us on one of those apps where people listen to podcasts.
Ready to buy a car, a home, or just want to take control of your money? Your FICO score matters, and 90% of top lenders use it to make decisions. Check your FICO score for free today without hurting your credit score. Visit myfico.com/free or download the MyFICO app today. MyFICO gives you the score lenders use most, plus credit reports and real-time alerts to help keep you on top of your credit. Visit myfico.com/free and take the mystery out of your FICO score.
Okay, hey everybody.
Hey everybody.
Welcome to Online Bullshit.
Welcome. Guess what I have in my hands right now, Katie?
A piece of shit.
Besides, I have a piece of shit and...
Meghan Markle's flower sprinkles.
I have, you're right, I've got the piece of shit in one hand, sprinkled with the flower sprinkles. I'm going to eat that later. But in my other hand, I have the Surrealist Tarot. I have a deck of the Surrealist Tarot cards. They are by Luigi Di Giammarino. And I thought we could pull a card. I could read the meaning, and that'll be how the future of our show. Let's tell the future of our show today. Our episode.
Yeah. The episode or the whole show as a whole?
The whole show. Let's say the whole show.
Scrolling through my feed, all I see is bullshit. Fake news, clickbait, gotta sift through all of it. Oh. Like share, retweet, trying to keep up with the trends, but it's all just a facade, man, it's all pretend. Online bullshit, that's all it is. You say you're living large, but I know it's just a myth. Online bullshit, can't you see? We're all caught up in the nonsense, it's time to break free.
Let me pull a card and see what our future is going to be. All right. Knight of Swords. It's weird, right?
Oh, he's cute.
Yeah, isn't he handsome? All right. Knight of Swords. Let me take a look. Knight of Swords. Okay. This is our future right here. Spiritual strength and juggling with abstract thinking. Nice.
Ooh.
Ideas as pieces of paper that need to be jumbled and that produce a brilliant solution. Provocative comments. I swear to God it says that. I swear to God it says that.
Well, nothing has ever seemed more true.
Get ready for some provocative comments, everyone.
Yeah, I mean, are you surprised?
Yeah.
That's right. So what I was going to tell you today is this book that Lindy West wrote. I don't know if you were a fan of Lindy West when she was like big on the internet.
I got to tell you, I am coming into this completely cold. Never heard of her before.
Okay, what about the show Shrill on Hulu? Did you watch that?
No. I heard of it vaguely.
I think that for me, there would just be times at work where I would be like, ugh, I need to take a break and fuck around. And someone would have posted like a funny article. And sometimes that was written by Lindy West. And she was a blogger and eventually started writing for Jezebel, which is what Rich and Tracy wrote for. They are the Pot Psychology hosts. So yeah.
During the Gawker days.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. And she had written, and I feel like I read this multiple times. She wrote like a takedown piece about Love Actually.
Oh, okay.
Because, like, have you seen Love Actually?
I have not. You know what? I don't like that British dude. What's his Hugh Grant?
You don't like Hugh Grant?
I don't like Hugh Grant.
I mean, that's fine. And he's not necessarily the star. It's kind of an ensemble thing.
Oh, I kind of
like,
thought he was.
Nah,
oh, you know what I'm thinking
of? Christmas.
Sorry, I'm thinking of Notting Hill. About a Boy or Notting Hill or one of those. Yes, sorry. Okay, got it.
It's like it's Christmas. Let's follow all of these people who live in London or wherever, England. Sorry to our UK listeners. I don't remember where they live.
Mm-hmm. No, they're in wherever.
And then
wherever, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and like Laura Linney's in it, and she's American, but she writes, I think, she works for a company. And then you find out that like other people in the story are tangentially related. Like she works for Alan Rickman, and then Alan Rickman is married to Emma Thompson, or the other lady that reminds me of Emma Thompson. And then someone is the brother of Emma Thompson, and then a lady starts working for the prime minister, who is Hugh Grant. And
it sounds like a Laurent.
Yeah, totally.
It really, yeah.
She's like a cute young lady. So, I mean, she does give like Monica Lewinsky vibes because she's much younger, and then like starts this relationship with the prime minister. And probably the thing you should be worried about there is the power dynamic. But instead, they keep commenting that they think she's fat, and she's distinctly like not, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like for the early aughts, I guess she's like Bridget Jones, where everyone's like, "Oh my God, you're so fat." And then in today's society, we'd be like, "Looking good, girl." Like,
yeah, no, seriously. I saw an ad today. It was like an old ad for like clothes for chubby girls. And
really?
It was like from the 50s or the 60s, and like, you know, sort of the photo picture of the little chubby girl was totally fucking normal. She did not look fat at all. Like her face was a little bit round. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I keep seeing posts in the Discussing Britney Reddit.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe it's the Britney Spears Reddit. Well, where they'll be like, remember this headline, and they called Britney like chunky when like she looked fine, you know? Mm-hmm. And so
I have seen those. They were terrible. I'm like, she looks beautiful. Her stomach is like concave, and they're like, she can't stop eating. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, the way that she looked for so long, like when she was at her peak, so that then like if she was wearing a pair of jeans and I would say her stomach was not concave, they'd be like, wow, Britney got fat, you know?
Yeah.
And I guess we were all just supposed to be like, yeah, she's fat. And while we were also like, that must mean I'm fat, which is so what we were all thinking. So like,
and then later on in the magazine, you see the ads for things that can help you lose weight. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, Lindy took down that movie because, I mean, it is really stupid.
Wait. Yes, got it.
Love Actually. And, So speaking of fat, Lindy West, she identifies herself as a fat woman.
Okay.
And then when she wrote Shrill, which was at first a book, like that, it's like she writes like personal essays a lot. So she'll reflect on these ideas of like how society treats her as a larger person. And then like she wrote that book, and then they made it into a show, and I thought, yeah, it was kind of exploring something that we hadn't really seen, where someone is just like, yeah, I'm fat, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And let's look at it honestly.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
What was the time frame of the show? When was that on?
I feel like I was still living in New York when it started.
Okay.
Let me see. No, it started in 2019 because I think she wrote it in like 2016.
Okay.
And then it was on for 3 seasons, and it starred Adie Bryant of SNL.
Oh
fame.
yeah. Okay, I love her.
Yeah. And it was like pretty autobiographical. But I would say that with Lindy's like online presence with her writing and then with this, you know, she has like a big fan base. So about 4 years ago, she did an interview with her husband and their girlfriend, or I don't know what you call it. They came out as polyamorous in this interview. And
doesn't her husband have like a very difficult name to pronounce?
Yes. And I've been listening to her book and she calls him Aham, which is like the short version. So then it goes on longer and I don't totally know how to pronounce the whole version.
Yeah, I've seen it. I'm like, it looks almost like, I don't know anything about these people. It looks almost like an African name.
You know, I think it's Middle Eastern.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
Okay, let's go take a look at a clip from this. Okay.
I see
Do you
it.
see?
Yeah.
So this is Lindy on the right. This is Aham.
Aham.
And then this is the other girl, Roya.
Roya. Okay.
Yeah. And I was just going to play some from the beginning because I thought it was illuminating.
Okay, sure.
All right.
And this is entitled Polyamory is Not Too Good to Be True.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's by a YouTube channel called Style Like You.
My only currency in life was like, does a hom like me? How does a hom feel? What's a hom doing? And if I didn't have that, I was like nothing. Polyamory is like the perfect antidote to codependency.
Some of the stereotypes is that how could there be enough to go around, enough time, enough attention, enough love? I have the greatest love in my life right now than I've ever had before. And it has never felt this good. You know, we're told this is too good to be true, but it's not. It actually is our truth.
Hi, everyone. We're Elisa and Lily, the mother and daughter creators of Style Like You. We want to extend
those two. I started watching this interview and I was like, oh, who are these two? And then I just realized this seems to be like one of those really pretentious channels. I mean, like polyamorous people to me are always really pretentious.
Well, it definitely does. Like it definitely a certain kind of person, I would say.
Yeah.
In my, I've known a lot of polyamorous people and they're all of a type.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't particularly like that type.
These two look like, I don't know. Oh, kind of like how I was saying, doesn't Sarah Koenig give lesbian?
Yeah. Yeah.
But also, I guess they care about
one of them
style.
has a fireman's hat on and the other one has a do-rag. I mean, if there's nothing more lesbian than that.
They seem, the people that I guess are hosting this YouTube channel just look like people who are like, sure, you want to tell us about your polyamorous lifestyle? We want to hear about it. And whenever you talk to anyone polyamorous, they have so much to say. Yeah. So many feelings and blah, blah, blah.
Too many feelings for one person.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
My foray into polyamory was a show on Showtime called Polyamory: Married and Dating. And it's a reality show that includes softcore porn because you follow around these polyamorous, I guess I have to call them polycules because they're not couples, right?
Yeah.
You follow them around and then you also watch them have sex.
Okay, yeah.
And so you probably tune in for one reason, but then you learn about all the stuff that goes into being polyamorous. And I was just always like, there's so much, you know, when you did this thing, it made me feel like this. There's so many feelings to dig through because each person has their own feelings of abandonment.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they'll be like, yes, but we're all together in this and we're all going to listen to each other's feelings and try to correct it when something doesn't feel super great for someone here.
Yeah.
To me, it's exhausting.
It sounds, that has always been my thing about polyamory. It's just like, how do you have sex? How do you have time to have any sex with anybody if you're dealing with all this emotional administrivia constantly?
Yes. Yes.
You know, it's like those people who talk about their relationship so much they don't have a relationship, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And so the book that she just wrote is called Adult Braces, and it starts off where she's talking about going on this road trip alone, and she has to get adult braces because her bite has gotten so fucked up that she's like cracking her teeth. That's kind of how it starts. And she's also starting to tell us how her husband, how she found out. Basically, here's the shitty thing. I have a clip to play, but
okay.
They were dating in 2011. They started dating. Then they moved somewhere together, and then that made them break up really quickly because it was such a big, like, moving is one of the biggest stressors, you know?
Yeah. Like, did they? Yeah, I get it. I get it.
So I have a clip to play, but
okay.
And then they get back together.
Oh.
Yeah. She says that they break up. Then what happens is her dad dies. And I guess they're still friends, so he's like there for her.
Yeah.
And they decide that they want to get back together. And then she admits, because she's so good at this like memoir writing, she kind of writes all of her ideas and thoughts that she's having at the time. She's like, I have always written in my writing that getting back together is like usually a bad idea. But she says we had both changed so much that it seems like a really good idea, even though they did what these kinds of people do and talked a lot before they got back together.
So they move, they break up, her dad dies. Like, how many years is it before they get back together? I'm just wondering because you said they had changed so much, and that was like,
right?
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to Google how did they meet, but because this is such a big story, you just can't find like that minuscule idea.
Yeah.
So it looks to me like they dated in 2011, they broke up, they got married in 2015.
Okay, all right. Who knows? Yeah.
So, and before they got back together, she says that he said, well, you know, I decided that I'm really someone who's polyamorous. Here's a picture of them.
Okay.
In 2019.
All right.
And she's like, oh, okay. And he's like, and I'm not saying that because I want to have as many people as possible or that like we're going to get together and then I'm immediately going to be going out and trying to find someone else and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But like, that's one of my things. And I think they wrote about it. There's, he has like a little bite in one of the articles where he says he had already been divorced twice.
Okay.
By the time he was like 27. So he was like, I decided that I should be polyamorous, and also like a monogamous relationship is inherently patriarchal in that like that means I own you or something. And so
I mean,
she's like,
it doesn't.
Okay. I know.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that at all if you don't want it to.
Right.
That's weird.
So she is like, okay, let's get back together. And then it seems to me, because she includes this at the beginning of the book, she finds out that he is like dating someone because she's in the studio recording one of her audiobooks and someone on Instagram sends her a picture, like one of her fans sends her a picture of her husband kissing another woman.
Okay.
And she freaks out and she makes up an excuse and says she has to leave. And then she goes and talks to him about it. And he's like, well, remember I said that I'm polyamorous.
Yeah.
And so then she's just supposed to be like, oh, okay, you're right. You did say that. That seems like a shitty way to find out, right?
Well, it's a very shitty way to find out. Also, it's like, I feel like from what I know of people in polyamorous relationships, like you said, it's the talking. It's all about the fucking talking. And I know my ex and I had an open relationship. And we discussed, it's like, okay, what are our parameters? It's like, we don't want to talk about another person while we're together. Like that was sort of like one of our rules. And which actually honestly eventually changed. But it changed really organically. But at first, like we had a conversation and we're like, let's batten down the hatches and figure out what we want here. And I feel like they should have had that conversation about like, I don't want to see you publicly kissing other women. I feel like that rule is a pretty basic rule that you would talk about.
So she has like a lot of inner thoughts, that she's writing in this memoir. And it goes back a lot to being fat, and she's like,
okay.
Well, I've had all of these feelings of no one will ever love me. I mean, so she's got like core wounds, as like my old therapist would say. And it sounds like they do a lot of talking and she does a lot of crying. And then she always comes back to, well, it's better to be with him than to not be with him.
It's awesome. You're going to love it.
I am
I'm
going
to give it to you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
If you're shopping while working, eating, or even listening to this podcast, then you know and love the thrill of the hunt. But are you getting the thrill of the best deals? Rakuten shoppers do. They get the brands they love with the most savings and cash back. And you can get it too. Start getting cash back at your favorite stores and even stack sales on top of cash back. It's easy to use and you get your cash back through PayPal or check. The idea is simple. Stores pay Rakuten for sending them shoppers, and Rakuten shares the money with you as cash back. Download the free Rakuten app and never miss a deal. Or go to Rakuten.com to start getting the most bang for your buck. That's Rakuten.
Thanks, Ashley, for being here. You are.
The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA's heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
This is Mike Boileau of Lexicon Valley.
And I'm Bob Garfield. Are you one of those people who sometimes uses words?
Do you communicate or acquire information with, language?
Hey, us too. So join us on Lexicon Valley to chew over the history, culture, and many mysteries of English, plus some wisecracks.
Find us on one of those apps where people listen to podcasts.
Well, like she was saying in that clip, I mean, that was really sad when she's like, as long as like he loves me, basically what she's saying to me is like, as long as I know he loves me, I feel worthwhile. And so she might be willing to slurp up any shit he throws her way just to keep him, polyamory my ass,
Yeah. And so she'll say stuff like that. And then she has fans. So they're like, Lindy, why are you doing this? Like, we're a fan of you. Why does it seem like you have such a low opinion of yourself?
Yeah.
And so I think like this backlash about her, it's like she came clean about the polyamory in that video.
Yeah.
And then, she writes in a Substack that came out like right after that video.
Mm-hmm.
She says, in case you missed it, my husband Aham and my partner Roya did an interview with a platform called Style Like You, in which we talked about our relationship while sitting on wooden stools in our underwear for 4 hours. It is really odd. After a period of time, they all will remove a piece of clothing. And it's weird. It's like all the same clothing. Like they're all wearing the same amount of necklaces. And then they'll remove like one shoe. And then all of a sudden they're all removing their pants, you know?
It's so gimmicky.
Yeah.
It's so
gimmicky. And so
gimmicky.
she says it was edited down to a 28-minute cut and posted on Instagram and YouTube, whereupon internet body language doctors went full Zapruder film and deduced that I am being brainwashed and held prisoner by an abusive narcissist and a tiny witch.
Only because it actually, if you look at Roya in this video, she does look like a tiny witch off to the side.
Both of whom are repulsed by my body and yet inexplicably keep me chained to them using Nexium-style mind control. Exactly the kind of uplifting coming out experience I always dreamed of.
Yeah.
But she says, like, in that video and then in subsequent writing that, like, her becoming used to this idea of polyamory made her realize how codependent she was.
Which I have things to say about. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, so being polyamorous is the cure to codependency.
Nope.
And I think we're all like...
You know what? Therapy and deep self-insight is the cure to codependency.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like you're, skipping a step by going right from codependency to polyamory. I don't think it's a cure,
Totally.
Yeah.
So, the internet is writing think pieces, and here's one of them from Slate.
Okay.
By a woman
I
named
fucking hate Slate.
Sachi Cool. And
Got it.
they had Sachi on their podcast called ICYMI, in case you missed it. And so I listened to that. So Sachi went and like met up with Lindy and read the book. So she says, because she called this, sorry, we need to say it, Lindy West's How Not To Guide to Polyamory. Because that's what people are taking away from it, is that like, this doesn't sound that good, girl.
Honestly, from the get-go, I was like, this isn't like the right way to look at it, Lindy. I mean, to me, it just felt like she was making excuses to want to be in the relationship. Like, no, this is really helping me get over it. I'm like, no, it's not. But anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, I know which line I liked about this. This is how the book starts. There's a lot of Wes driving in adult braces because, like I said, she decides to take a road trip. We're not always up and up on what the timeline is, but it comes off like she finds out he's in this other relationship with Roya.
Yeah.
And so it's 2021. It's like not the height of COVID, but people were still keeping their distance. So it sounds a little bit like she says, okay, I'm going to go like have some time to myself and go on this road trip. She decides she wants to go to Kokomo, like from the Beach Boys song.
Yeah.
Jamaica.
There, yeah. And so she Googles it and she finds out that Kokomo is not a real place.
Oh, it's like the ancient city of gold or Kismet. It's like you only see it in the shadows during a certain time of year, this beautiful shining city in the sea. Yeah, great.
Yeah. So she's like, well, I guess based on the Beach Boys song, it's somewhere in Florida. So that's where I'm going to go.
I think he's just talking about Key West.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
He probably was like, I heard Margaritaville and I'll try to make something kind of different.
Jimmy Buffett is like, they stole my thunder.
Yeah. So Sachi writes, through her drive, she explores and finds words for her relationship with her husband, musician and writer, a homofuel J. Oluo as the looming threat of his desire for polyamory becomes fully realized.
Okay.
And she is also like going to therapy, and she does also see someone who works with crystals. So she is trying to work on herself.
Okay.
And I think that she just also has this writing style, which has always been inherently vulnerable and like, these are my inside thoughts, you know?
Yeah,
So she wanted to like show us how she combed through all of these thoughts.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And yeah. And so,
can I ask you a question, actually?
Yeah.
In your listening to the audiobook, you know,
I know.
Like, do you find her like combing through these thoughts? Do you have any like takeaways about how her process or anything?
I have a bunch of clips I recorded because she talks about like her core wounds. And I'm like, okay. I just think maybe there's a way to look at this where it's like, yeah, she wanted to be honest and vulnerable. But then everyone's takeaway is like, girl, this doesn't sound good for you. And
yeah,
I haven't gotten to the end, but from the other think pieces that I've read, people aren't like, wow, she really figured this shit out.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, just because you're honest doesn't mean you're right.
Right.
You know?
So, okay.
At the time, being cool about polyamory felt like a growing imperative in progressive circles.
Damn right.
It made me defensive, particularly coming from thin people. Are you saying there's something different about me? Some reason why I, specifically, should be obliged to seek alternative lifestyles? Oh, mightn't I be happier as a lesbian separatist or a polyamorous burlesque dancer or an anarchic catwoman? Maybe so, but that seemed beside the point. The point was, why should I? Why not you? You go be alternative. I wanted to be a teenage girl having her first kiss and her first boyfriend and her first heartbreak, like everyone else. All the things I missed out on the first time around. I wanted to be someone's burning obsession. I had no interest in reinventing the wheel. I was still trying for my driver's license. I wanted what normal people had because I was not allowed to have it. Stigma stole even this from me, my right to imagine what kind of life I wanted without the poisoned lure of what I couldn't have. Monogamous, heterosexual true love had always been withheld, so that's what I chased. I wasn't naive, I was furious. I had something to avenge. I craved that precious thing I'd been denied for so long while all my friends and enemies dated and married and had babies and divorced.
Yeah, I guess I just feel like it's so obvious to me that this is one of her core wounds, as I was saying, is like growing up and being like a bigger person and feeling like no one was ever going to love her. You know?
Yeah, no. I mean, she says that really, really well, too.
Yeah.
Like the idea that it was like I was automatically not put into like the box of you deserve normal things, which is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that she says like this was a time period where people were trying to be like, hey, loosen up, like be cool about polyamory. And I don't even think she's necessarily saying that about her own relationship yet. She's just talking about her old feelings about the idea. Like, so she never wanted that. It doesn't sound to me like she's ever had any ideas that she might be a little bit lesbian or bi. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
she's not attracted to women, it doesn't sound like. And this is how she feels about that.
She was meeting me where I was at. Aham really showed up when my dad died. We got back together and stayed. I acknowledged in Shrill that couples getting back together was rare and possibly unhealthy, but I wrote, the only explanation I can offer is that we weren't the same people in relationship part 2 as we were in relationship the Phantom Menace. And that's true. I certainly wasn't the same. The death of a parent ages you.
So that's just a good example of like her weird kind of like blogger way of writing, I'd say.
Yeah.
I saw some takes on threads that were like, she still kind of writes the way people in the 2010s were writing on blogs. And
okay.
They use this quote where she goes, "J'excuse-moi."
Uh-huh.
And like these cutesy little things where she's like, well, this was our relationship part deux. Whereas like the first iteration of our relationship was the Phantom Menace, which is obviously a reference to the prequels of Star Wars.
I saw that when it came out. It was the first prequel to Star Wars. I saw it in the theater. It was a whole big thing. We had to stand in line. I was with a bunch of Star Trek heads. That was Jar Jar Binks.
Yes.
And it was the worst thing I've ever seen. I just needed to say that.
You were with Star Trek heads or Star Wars heads?
Star Wars heads, excuse me.
I mean, they might as well be the same, right?
Well, I think there are differences between Star Wars nerds and Star Trek nerds, and I would like to see them have a war.
Me too.
Yeah.
You hear that?
I think we need to start fomenting a civil war among Star Trek nerds.
Yeah. So, okay. So as I was saying, he like wants them to meet.
Okay.
And it's really interesting because she references that in that video where the three of them are together. And the things that they say about their first meeting is that they were really happy to meet. They both thought the other one was attractive. And like they call it a date.
Cute. And then we had a whole plan where I was going to go to Portland by myself and meet up with Roya. And like we were going to have a date. I got back from my trip like maybe 3 weeks before Aham's birthday. The group chat was going fast and furious. And Aham was like, I just want Roya to come for my birthday. The actual date that I was supposed to go to Portland was like 2 weeks after that. So I was like, okay. I picked Roya up at the train station by myself. And then Roya and I went and had our date. And it was so cute.
It was really, really great. Lindy's so easy to talk to. So funny. So magnetic that I instantly felt comfortable with. And I did not feel like I was just trying to make this whole thing easier.
Or to like make it hot
just,
for Aham.
Or yeah, exactly. It really was, I think actually that she instantly liked me as a person and I instantly liked her. And it just kept going from there and it's been exponential.
Was the flirting and the in-person like attraction also instant?
Yeah, for me.
Yeah.
Both of them texted me like 15 minutes after they like met and they were both like, okay, we're best friends now.
Okay.
It's, Lindy and Roya, and they're like, yeah, it was a really lovely date.
Uh-huh.
But then these are her feelings in the book. They're a little different.
I still never wanted to meet Roya or be friends with her or look at a picture of her, except when I was alone and sad and needed to press on the bruise. But she seemed like a perfectly nice person. On one particularly grounded day, I asked Aham, what did Roya think about me? She likes you. She's always liked you. He made it sound so uncomplicated. She just liked me. It was almost aspirational. I pushed the thought away. Polyamorous people. They think they're so evolved. Crystal Cave.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just, and maybe she gets into it, but like throughout this whole sort of like, kind of development of this polyamorous relationship, it's like I'm not hearing what she wants,
No.
Like even if she's like, okay, I will go on this polyamory journey with you. It's like, have you thought about like your limits, your boundaries? Because I'm not hearing that in what we've listened to so far. I feel like she's very much just like she said, she's like, I kind of got to be whatever he wants because he likes me this way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wonder if some of that, like, I was thinking of the term sunken cost fallacy because they've already been together for some period of time. And it sounds like he didn't really.
Point.
Yeah, like he didn't really pursue the polyamory thing for a few years.
Yeah.
And now she's like, well, I've already spent all this time with this man. And one of Sachi's takeaways and like why she called her article like the not how-to guide of polyamory is she says that this book is an analog journey for West, who has spent most of her career sharing herself online, and a narrative that demands both radical self-acceptance from the writer herself and maximum empathy from her fans.
Yeah.
All memoirs ask this of their readers, but with adult braces. West is requesting that her readership do something even tougher. She wants them to find some empathy for someone who has hurt her. Because I think it's a little bit like we're all listening like her friend who wants to bitch about her boyfriend or whatever. Like that.
Yeah.
That kind of relationship where if you tell your friends the shitty things about your boyfriend or your significant other, they have a hard time forgetting that stuff because they're not necessarily there for the good stuff.
Yeah.
So they're
Well, they're there to
well,
support you. So they're not thinking about like, what's the other side of this, you know?
Yeah.
I was thinking of something when you said, it's like, I just wanted to say, like, to anybody who's polyamorous out there, like, we are not judging polyamorous relationships. I guess we're judging this polyamorous relationship because it seems like it's very fraught with some issues. But like, if that floats your boat, go for it. You know, we're just, even as much as we're going to like, you know, rip this to shreds, we have nothing against polyamory in general.
I don't want it for myself. You know,
no, I don't want it for
just
myself either. But, you know, if you like it, go for it. You know, you don't need our permission.
So they've been comparing this to like Eat, Pray, Love. I think partly because she's on a road trip through the book.
Oh, yeah. Did she try to murder
like,
her lover after?
I know, like Elizabeth Gilbert.
Yeah.
So then they're also comparing it to that recent Elizabeth Gilbert book because it is kind of like, well, then I hated my significant other, you know?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And they say it reads like a divorce memoir.
Because when we did that episode, we were talking in the context of like people who learn all the therapy speak so they know how to like talk in like a contrite way about their issues, but they never do anything to solve them. And I remember you mentioned Elizabeth Gilbert's book because you're like, yeah, it's like you're on her side, but also she's wrong. And it's just because she has this great way of like writing through her process that is like very engaging and compelling. But it's like, she's still not good. What she's doing is not a good thing. She's not a good person. She's not trying to change, you know?
But it makes me think maybe the publisher is also like, hey, I want you to lean into this, you know, you wanting to kill your significant other because then it's like clickbait, you know?
Yeah, make it as provocative as possible. No, that's also very, very possible. But at the end of the day, Elizabeth Gilbert, if that's what happened, she did it. And that's a little bit venal.
Well, I don't think she killed that woman. Did
no,
she?
I mean, she decided, you know, if
she followed through with what someone
she
wanted
decided
her
to lean
do,
into the provocative shit at the expense of being fully honest and transparent.
The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA's heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
Do you love rom-coms? Do you wish you could talk about Christmas movies year-round? Then we have the perfect podcast for you, Hallmarkies Podcast. Throughout the year, we cover all things romance, holiday, and Hallmark, including recaps of every Hallmark show, like When Calls the Heart and The Way Home. You can also get loads of bonus content covering shows like Bridgerton, Sweet Magnolias, and Just Like That. We are an all-female group of friends who are passionate for these shows and movies and give our honest opinions as well as gush over what we love so much. But that's not all. Every Monday, there are interviews with all your favorite actors, writers, directors, and more. Check out Hallmarkies Podcast on all your podcast providers and on YouTube. That's Hallmarkies Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts.
You know?
Yeah. So it reads like a divorce memoir for the elder millennials raised on Jezebel and the golden age of Twitter. Something an Elizabeth Gilbert or a Roxane Gay might release to light up group chats everywhere. In the end, Wes doesn't get a divorce. Instead, she opens her marriage up to something she previously feared. By the book's end, she has fallen in love with one of her husband's 2 secret girlfriends, and the 3 move in together. Okay. So I guess later in the book, we find out he had another secret girlfriend.
Wow. That's not at all a problematic for him to do.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. It's like, I feel like I'm not getting, like, what are your rules? What are your rules of engagement in this relationship? He can have secret girlfriends. He can't. What's going on?
Well, it seemed like that manipulative thing he says at the beginning of the book, which is, you knew I was like this, you know, and you agreed. Yeah. And when I heard her say that, I was like, oh, that he's like gaslighting her. I'm like, no, that doesn't mean she doesn't get to talk about how she feels. Right?
Not only that, it's like, you knew about this. It's like, okay, you're polyamorous and I will agree to still be in a relationship with you. But that's like the beginning of a long fucking conversation. It's not just like, I told you, so you should be good with it. You know?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's so selfish. It's so incredibly selfish.
So, as we've seen with a couple of these snippets of this piece that Sachi wrote, you know, I think she's also not really on board. And she got an email from Aham, and that's part of... Yes, that's part of like the online discourse now. Because if you want to be so progressive and on the side of your wife who put her heart and soul out here with a book and blah, 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 actually, there was a really good thread that I saw where someone was like, you know, you could write an email to the author that says, hey, I understand, you know, you're taking Lindy's side, you're a fan of her, blah, blah, blah. Maybe just not be such a hateful asshole. Okay, here it is. Here's what Miss Robinson said on Threads. What Lindy West's husband Aham could have written, quote, I have been surprised and overwhelmed by the concern shown for Lindy following the publication of her book. Please know I love and support her and am endlessly proud of her talent. I will be taking some time off social media and request that you don't contact my children. Instead, he wrote, This was such a shitty thing to do, Sachi. You intentionally skewed this story to fit your own bitter narrative. You wasted my time and all of our time to write an article that was going to be the same no matter what we said. You absolutely dehumanized me and intentionally diminished my personhood and career. Roya and I were on a shared project in Boston, or however you worded it. I was performing 4 shows at the Paramount, and Roya is my producer. I think that's how they got together, he and Roya.
Okay. Yeah.
I am a person with a life and a great career and a complicated life, and you boiled me down to a cheater who was on a school project making a diorama or some shit because you were mad about your life. You barely wrote about the book. You just wrote rage bait articles specifically designed to direct hate toward me. You are a shitty fucking person. You're a bitter, untalented, mean girl, and you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself. You fucking suck. Ahamaful J. Aluo. Oh, I remember her saying somewhere that he literally did sign it his full name like that with a middle initial.
Yeah. Can I react to this real quick before we move on?
Yes.
Only because I'm like, first of all, tell us you're a narcissist without saying you're a narcissist.
Right.
Because it's all about like how you've treated me and then projecting bile onto her.
Yeah.
And then also like, if he speaks to an utter stranger female this way, how does he talk to Lindy and Roya? Is this how he does it? Because this is vicious.
So true. And he also like wrote on his Instagram story where he's like still fucking pissed. And like something he wrote is like so silly. Basically, and he says it in that video where he's like, just so you know, I'm not in this polyamorous, lifestyle because I want to get as many women as possible. And I'm like, okay, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, let us be the judge of that.
Yeah. I mean, do you, why are you in it, sir? Does he say that? Does he have like, this is why? And give you a cogent explanation as to like what his needs are?
I do feel like he's a little bit more about what it's not than what it is, if that makes sense. Like he's aware about how he might come across.
It's a purely defensive posture because he knows he's a piece of shit deep inside.
A narcissist.
I think so.
Yeah. So he wrote this long shit on Instagram.
Oh, read it to me.
So fucking mad. Yeah.
Yay.
He says, after 28 days away, I returned to my quiet, isolated home in the woods, which, yes, Sachi said she had to take like a plane to a ferry or a plane to a train to a ferry. And then Lindy picked her up because they live so secluded in Portland or Seattle. To me, they're the same.
I wonder whose decision it was to isolate.
I know, right?
Yes, this is getting really interesting.
Okay, so he says, after 28 days away, I returned to my quiet, isolated home in the woods just before Lindy's new book, Adult Braces, came out. It's a book that I am so proud of Lindy for writing, but also a book that I played a big role in, not only as a character in the text, but as the person who Lindy originally envisioned the book together with. The person who helped her write the book proposal and has read and given feedback to draft after draft, parentheses, feedback that always encouraged her to be true to her truth and feelings. The person who engineered the audiobook. Oh, I guess he's saying he did the sound engineering.
Oh, okay.
The person who certainly knows the book in and out more than anyone.
The sound engineering for an audiobook is like the on-off button. Come on. Is the mic on? That's the sound engineering.
Well, I guess he does stuff in music, so I'm sure he's familiar with sound, whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He knows more about this book more than anyone except Lindy herself. ... And yet, when this book came out, many blogs, even some reputable national publications, parentheses, most who didn't actually read the book, and others who willfully misrepresented it, chose to take a thoughtful and nuanced book about midlife and expectations and finding what you want and need in places you never imagined, and the complexity of all relationships, including our polyamorous one, and boil it down to, this is all caps, evil, abusive man forces his wife into a polyamorous harem. Yeah. I know what the book says, ... I know that's not what it says. Why are you trying to trick people into thinking that's what the book says? The past week, I have been bombarded. Trolls coming out of the woodwork to message me horrible things, to say my daughters deserve a better father, to say I am their representation of everything bad about men. In parentheses, I am non-binary.
Never mind. Let's just stop this show because he's non-binary. That makes everything okay. Let's just talk about our feelings. What the fuck?
Because if you're non-binary, you can't
do anything wrong.
Yeah, you can't do anything wrong.
Yeah, you're a pure progressive avatar for everything that is right if you're non-binary, right?
Well, I guess it's like, yeah, everything bad about men. Sure, we can say that shit. Maybe they wouldn't have written it like that, worded it like that if they knew you were non-binary, and they would have just said about people, you know?
Yeah.
It just doesn't exclude you from the narrative, sir.
There's a lot of like him projecting his version of himself and what this book is supposed to be about in his opinion.
Yeah.
That is like, okay, so you're going to create the context in which we need to think of what you're writing here, but you don't get to do that. You don't get to tell us what the book is about, how we should feel about it, how we should feel about, you and your behavior. And also, it's like, I'm sorry, I got to say this. People keep, like, quote unquote, the haters out of it. If you have a problem with Sachi's article, talk about Sachi's article. Because the internet is going to fucking hate you. The internet hates me. The internet hates you, Katie. The internet hates Izzy. And the internet hates my cat. Okay? So it's pointless to discuss it.
Right. There's only so much you can do about that. You just kind of have to accept it.
It's just somebody who needs to include that as like a point of contention for them. I'm just like, I can't. You're not mature to me. Like if you're like, oh, the haters, it's like immediately I'm like, I am checked out of you. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. He's not making himself look great. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
But what it reminds me of, and not in a way that I think they're comparable necessarily. I just think that there's one person here that has fans, and that's Lindy.
Yeah.
And then the same goes for the Taylor Frankie Paul, who's the woman who just, her Bachelorette season just got canceled because of her abusive actions, and how people are just going so hard on like, well, we don't know who the real abuser is there,
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, there once again, Taylor Frankie Paul is the one who has fans, So you have
she gets to control the narrative. Yeah.
Like people are going to be on the side of the person that they're a fan of. And we're not a fan of her boyfriend who has a small role on the show and maybe is sometimes shitty to her. I don't know. I'm just like, to me, it all comes down to projection. Is like we're projecting stuff onto their relationship in both scenarios,
Yeah. Well, and then they have this idea of their relationship that they're trying to put forward to us, and we're taking that information in and then projecting our idea of relationships back at them. And it's just like, it's a big mess,
Yeah.
Parasocial mess.
And I should probably look and see what Lindy wrote as a response, but I liked this other thread that says, I feel like a lot of Lindy West's response to the criticism of her memoir has boiled down to, quote, why don't you believe these two skinny people can love me? And she goes on to say, I absolutely believe Lindy West is lovable. I just don't think people who love you will make you cry this much.
Yes. This honestly, I think, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think like, not that a relationship, like a relationship in general, like a romantic relationship should be easy, but it shouldn't always be hard.
Yeah.
It should mostly be good. And if you are like crying every day and constantly like having some sort of like, emotional processing that you have to do to get through your week, it's not a good relationship.
Sound good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems a little bit like it goes back to those feelings that she had where she felt left out of having romantic relationships. And like, that's why she's chosen to stay.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm sure this royal woman is a great person too, which just makes me upset that this shitty man gets to have these two great women. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, it's
I don't
almost
know.
like we're devolving, because usually like shitty men got to have like one great woman, but now 2025, a shitty man gets to have two.
Right.
Or 3 or 9.
By the way,
whatever.
It's 2026.
Whatever. Oh, I would not pass the cognitive test.
Oh my God.
I can't draw a clock. Yeah.
You can't draw a clock. What about, can you
draw.
tell the difference between a rhinoceros and a hippopotamus?
Well, all I know is that one has horns. I know a rhinoceros has horns. And hippos are cuter. Yeah, like one big nose horn, right? Yeah.
Yes. Okay, you pass.
Yeah. That was Animal Corner. All right.
Tune in next week. We'll have another Animal Corner. 2 hikes. Okay, here's another interesting clip that I took.
That Aham resented how much I'd let myself deteriorate. Not how I looked, but my life force. As though participating in our marriage and our future was no priority for me at all. He wanted to live life with me, not just watch me sink into depression until I died. But at the time, the only framework I had to understand this dynamic was the one I'd been indoctrinated into. I'd gotten fatter, and he hated me for it. That's the
Wait. No.
Okay. There's a lot of her talking about her depression, I'd say. Like, she has a chapter, I think it's a chapter, about showering. And, you know, some of that is also, I've seen pointed out, executive dysfunction about how she's like, I don't know why I put off like taking a shower because like your day doesn't start until after you get out of the shower. And like, she's like, showering is good, but maybe here are all the reasons why I didn't shower so many times. And it would be like, I don't think anyone actually wants to touch or smell me, so who cares, you know?
Yeah.
And then she says, well, like, she'll have the same kind of experience when she drives somewhere, and it'll take her a long time to decide to get out of the car.
Oh,
And
wow.
so-
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw. And so then she's telling this story. See, she jumps around a lot about them going on a hike.
Yeah.
And all these times where he's like 2 switchbacks ahead. And he's just looking back at her, and she's trying to keep going.
Are you
but she's
fucking kidding me with this guy?
Yeah.
Because that
And
is
so-
a physical representation of, I just have to say this about what she said in the beginning. When he's like, my life force was draining, and he was like pulling away, I guess, because like I wasn't like happy and willing to like live life with him because I was like a depressed, sad, an unshowered person.
Yeah.
And she interprets that as like, oh, well, I must have like gotten fat and he doesn't love me anymore. And the thing is, it's like, no, you got depressed and he should be supporting your mental health, not saying, because he's basically saying the same thing. He's like, you're not the woman I married and I don't like you anymore because you're sad. Fat, sad, whatever. He shouldn't be doing that. He should, as your spouse, be supporting you and trying to help you get better and become that partner that he, wants.
Yeah.
And for him to do that on the switchbacks, that's exactly what he's doing to her all the time. He's going past her and looking down. Yeah. Anyway, this guy pisses me off. I'm having a Nick Vile moment.
Ooh.
I know, right?
I know. Do you want to see another clip of him?
I'd love to.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of good interesting stuff out of this interview that I did. That they did. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But everything I watched, I was like, oh, I would like to save this clip. I would like to save this clip. And so I was like, oh, we'll just watch
everything you're
something.
telling me that he says is like a fucking full of red flags.
Yeah. And if you ask me, he doesn't look that great to me.
Yeah, I mean, he's fine. Whatever,
Yeah, whatever.
Relationship.
Hi, this is Alex Kantrowitz. I'm the host of Big Technology Podcast, a longtime reporter and an on-air contributor to CNBC. And if you're like me, you're trying to figure out how artificial intelligence is changing the business world and our lives. So each week on Big Technology, I bring on key actors from companies building AI tech and outsiders trying to influence it, asking where this is all going. They come from places like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, and plenty more. So if you want to be smart with your wallet, your career choices, in meetings with your colleagues, and at dinner parties, listen to Big Technology Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
I feel like people, like especially cis straight men, feel like I'm like getting away with something. I don't have any allegiance to that kind of like masculine getting women. I'm not trying to get anything. I'm with these people. I just have like unlimited respect for the people that I love and I'm in a relationship with. At no point does it feel like I'm doing anything inappropriate. But that perception is in the air. And I think it has a lot to do with how people are in any kind of relationship. People tend to be exploitative of the people that they're with, and they tend to be in a relationship to be like, what can I get out of this relationship? Like, I want to make sure that any behaviors that I've internalized, anything like that, to just constantly check in with myself and not be the person I don't want to be.
People are going to assume that Aham's tired of me and needed like a younger, skinnier, more conventionally hot person. Like, yeah, Aham keeps me around because he loves me and I have a good personality, but like, yeah, you like upgrade. Before this really started popping off, I remember being so afraid of that perception that, because I am a semi-public figure and people speculate about my personal life and people are really cruel to me online. And
what does that do to?
Because I'm fat, it's definitely like present.
The more reductive assumptions around someone who is perceived as a third partner or the person who entered into an existing relationship is often that person isn't getting their full needs met, that they're like a bonus or an extra in the legitimate lives or relationship structure that is the marriage or is the primary relationship. We don't use that language. We don't say primary or secondary. We're all equals. So yeah, some of the stereotypes is that it's more superficial. It can't possibly be as deep or as valid, or how could there be enough to go around, enough time, enough attention, enough love. There were moments, over the course of time where I sort of found myself creating problems in my head that weren't actually there. Like, oh, what if I am disposable in this scenario? Or what if I am not the material of long-term relationship? Because I'd always rejected marriage. There is a lot.
I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is polyamorous talking about polyamory.
Exactly.
This is what we've gotten to. She seems really cool though, Roya. Like very smart, cool. I like her. I just wanted, did you have anything to say? Because I want to talk about this guy.
Let's talk about him.
All right. Well, he says, like he's trying to monitor himself, that he doesn't come from a place of toxic masculinity. That's not what he's interested in. And he's not interested in like getting more women to sort of like, amass masculine cred. And I'm like, that's great. And that is probably very well true. But that doesn't mean you're still not shitty in other ways. And you're still not doing shitty things in your relationship with these people. Great. Mm-hmm. You don't come from a place of toxic masculinity or patriarchy. You're still an ass. There's a lot of different ways for you to be a fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, and it's just interesting also what Roya says. I'm like, this could actually be like a good situation for like maybe somebody like me who's like, I'm not interested in like having this like, romantic, monogamous relationship. I would be fine being a third wheel in another marriage. I'm like, great, you guys do all the romantic stuff. We'll fuck, have fun, go out to like parties and, the movies and stuff. And then you guys get to have the marriage and I can read a book, You know, I love it. Perfect. I do not feel invalidated in my needs.
I do think that would be different in your relationship because I think that these three are doing everything as like a poly thing constantly. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it seems like that. And the way that he like kept this a secret from Lindy at the beginning, I'm just kind of like, well, yeah, then that is what you were doing, bro. You were trying
cheating.
to get chicks. Yeah.
Yeah. You cheated twice. And did Roya know about the second woman that is mentioned in Chachi's article?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because that's interesting because he's showing a pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the way that he reacted, and and from what she said and what he said, he doesn't seem super supportive. So then it's like, then she's like honest and says, oh, everyone thinks he just got Roya because he's sick of me and my fat body. And it's like, I wonder if he, like you said earlier with her assuming that he's mad at her for being fat or something.
Yeah.
Like, well, what is he saying?
Yeah. Well, I have a theory about what his motivations by being polyamorous are.
What?
Which was told, it's interesting that Roya is also talking about like her vulnerabilities, her feelings of not being enough in the same relationship she's in with Aham and Lindsay, because I feel like maybe is Aham is the name?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I feel like Aham seems like the kind of person who's getting into these situations so that he can have control over their self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm wondering, does he play one off against the other?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. I'm speculating, but, you know, based on some of his behavior that we've seen already, it would not surprise me if he's not in this just so he can have, like, control over these women by playing them off against each other.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, like, I mean, he's totally like, you know, like she's got these self-esteem problems. Lindy's got these self-esteem problems, and I can play them against each other, you know? It's just...
Yeah. And if there's going to be a lot of sitting and talking about feelings, I mean, you'll get to know what makes someone insecure and what you could say to push their buttons. Yeah. And so the comments, like Lindy said, are like, may this type of love never find me. Bring in another man, see how positive he is then.
Damn straight, Rock Dennis, J8Q.
Oh, yeah, there is a part where Lindy cries. I forgot about that.
I feel like Lindy cries whenever she talks about this relationship.
I feel like that too.
It's not good, dude.
Let me see if this is it. Because that person in the comments said, notice how he never, like, dropped Roya's hand while Lindy was crying.
I noticed that he never holds Lindy's hand. He holds Roya's hand the entire time, at least at this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially, and he's holding Roya's hand while Lindsay is talking about her vulnerabilities.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, let's watch this clip then.
Okay.
Oh, he had a therapist, I guess. Okay.
Oh, great. So he learned how to talk about his problems.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how to do it. All of our experience had been in very traditional relationship, you know, formats. It turned into a way more monogamous structure than I think we had planned it to. I was, you know, in a place talking to my therapist, I was really ready to move forward and really ready to explore something that wasn't just a traditional heterosexual monogamous relationship. And when Roya and I met, like Roya knew exactly what was going on in my relationship with Lindy. Like,
you can say, like, we were bad. We were doing bad. Like, I was severely depressed and really overwhelmed by my career. I was just in a really, really bad place, which made me not a good partner. And the sort of concepts of non-monogamy or polyamory or whatever made sense to me. Like, I was like, I understand this, but it takes so much confidence to do, because you can't be codependent at all. Like, you have to fully be your own person and just like trust that you are valuable And I really didn't have that. Aham said something that I have to correct. Traditional monogamous relationships was what both of us were used to.
What? He's like staring at the ceiling. What do you think he's looking? I keep being like, what is he looking at?
Oh, wait, I didn't see him stare at the ceiling.
Oh, you're watching her.
Sorry.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Well, that motherfucker. Okay, just watch him now. Because also it looked like he didn't brush his tongue.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, okay.
Traditional monogamous relationships was what both of us were used to. I was not used to that. No man ever wanted to be monogamous with me or felt jealousy about me or wanted to cherish me and keep me as a special jewel. I was trash, So I didn't have that. I had shitty fake relationships with people who didn't want to be seen with me. So, after we fell into this sort of monogamous pattern, the longer we were in that, the scarier the non-monogamous conversation became for me. By the time it was 2018 and I was making a television show based on my life, I was like, who the fuck am I? You're making creative decisions with a team of people about what parts of your life are interesting and what parts have to be cut and which people don't matter. And I'm sorry, it's really, especially because I wasn't coming at it from a super healthy place. I wasn't in therapy and I clearly was traumatized by my 20s. By the time we were making Shrill, I was I do not know how to talk to people. I was on set in my little chair being I don't know what, the model is that men, cycle through women and upgrade to the hottest possible wife. And the model is that I am not worthy of love. And I certainly had that proven to me over and over again by the way that I had been treated. And so all the empirical evidence was telling me that there's just no way that this man loves me, and because it's impossible. However, I have to say, even in the most turbulent parts, we weren't ever going to split up or anything.
And so what was what was that finally happened?
We kind of had a, don't ask, don't tell policy, around things like that, which sounds so much better on paper than in real life, because one, it really fragments your life, which is really hard.
It creates distance. And if you're the person asking not to be told things, you don't know why that distance is there. And I was so resentful this whole time because I was why are you so far away from me? I don't understand.
It operated in this way that was really difficult. And it didn't feel right to not be able to be transparent about my life and what was going on. And it really came to a head, Roy lost her best friend, her best friend in the world. And that for me, that was the moment that with Lindy, I was I'm just going to tell you, I know you don't want to know, but I'm just going to tell you because there's stuff going on and I need to be there. I need to be there for her. I need to be there for you. I need to have a sense of transparency in my life so that I can be the most supportive partner possible in a time where I'm really needed.
And every step that we
So they all remove an earring together?
Yeah. It's just such a stupid gimmick. I hate it. Just they're talking. They're very interesting. Why do we need this little bit?
Yeah, we don't. And
it's so dumb.
It's interesting to me because they're making it sound like the fact that he was having a relationship with Roya was something he decided to reveal at a certain time.
Yeah.
And Lindy says in her book that that's not how it happened. So it's kind of confusing.
Well, they said they had a don't ask, don't tell policy. So I'm sure Lindy knew far before she met Roya that Roya was a factor in his life. But in terms of
someone was, yeah.
Yeah, somebody. But in terms of him saying it's I have to, this other relationship, she's going through something. I kind of have to be there for her. And so he said, I had to talk about it because it was a crisis in which I wanted to assist.
Right. And
yeah,
when I edit this, I'm going to find the clip from Lindy's book where she says she confronted him. because it just sounds like it went down differently. And I'm like, how are there two accounts?
Yeah. I'd love to hear like the difference.
Yeah.
Midwife crisis. I was an hour into recording the audiobook of The Witches Are Coming, my second collection of essays, when I got a message from a stranger, a fan, how embarrassing, informing me that they had seen my husband kissing a woman who was not me at a bar. I stepped outside, pressed my body against my hot car, and called Ahamefule. He was silent for 10 heartbeats. Then he said, I think maybe we want different things. I told the audio engineer that I had a family emergency and left. On the drive home, over the phone, Aham said, You know that I am a polyamorous person. And I hung up in a rage. Even though he was right, I did know that. And then I called back and pretended I'd lost signal in the tunnel. He believed me. It was September 2019, and I had only been home, reunited with him for one day.
Something I wanted to ask, though, as we were watching this. Do I remember?
Can I say something?
Yes,
go ahead. Well, no, it's just, I feel so bad for Lindy. I'm like, when she's talking about like, it had been, nobody ever wanted me. It had been like, my 20s were terrible, and it had been proved to me over and over again that like nobody wanted me for a traditional relationship. And I just want to be like, Lindy, you have these thoughts about yourself that you are making come true by choosing the kind of man who will treat you that way.
Mm-hmm.
It is a story that you have told yourself and that you have played out. And now you're with this guy and it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
And you're trying to make it look different, but it doesn't.
Well, and I think she might come to that realization if they had like a separation. And
yeah.
Because like if you try to just like stay and make it work, you'll stay in that mindset. But if you, like she went on that road trip, it doesn't sound like it made her question the relationship. It just made her try to figure out how she could stay. And I'm thinking like, if you actually did take like a separation where you're like, let's go off and do our own thing. Let's think about ourselves. You might have like come back with a different thought process.
Yeah. I feel like you're right. It's like she's constantly trying to figure out how can I fit into the box that he's created for me. And I'm like, Lindy, that's why you're crying all the time, because it hurts to put yourself in weird shapes.
Yeah. And it's like, it's coming from a place of like, well, this is what the people, the new agey people like them would say. You're thinking from a place of lack. You're not coming from a place of abundance.
Which is like so true, especially in this case, but I still want to slap the person who like would ever say that to me. I was like, how fucking dare you?
I couldn't think of like a more normal way to say it that didn't sound,
that's the thing. You said it in the perfect way, because they never say things in a normal way.
No.
Yeah.
I guess I was going to say, do you think there's some way to look at this relationship that we're just not seeing? That like Lindy's telling all the truth about all the feelings she had, and actually Aham just feels really protective of everyone, and that's why he wrote that scathing email, and everyone's actually just doing great.
I would say, okay, yeah, I guess. Like any of our polyamorous listeners, feel free to chime in if we're getting this totally wrong. But going back to that email to Sachi and his Instagram post, he is always talking about himself.
He is.
He's always talking about how it affects him. If he was protective, he'd be protecting her. He barely fucking mentions her. It's all about him. This is what I did for her book.
And that this book, I was involved in the book. And if anyone knows the book as much or almost as much, it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It has nothing. He like glances at praising Lindy for her accomplishments, but that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so polyamorists, please chime in. I want to know what you think.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I had seen this stuff popping off online, but one of our listeners slid into the DMs about it too. And she said that Lindy was supposed to come to her city on a book tour like this week. And she canceled her appearance.
When was the video you've been showing me on YouTube? When was that filmed?
4 years ago.
Is it
So
recent?
2022.
Oh, okay. So I'm like, because I don't know. She just like, I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Based on that. I mean, I don't know. I feel like she's really getting a raw deal. And it's like she can't acknowledge it. So it just like makes her cry. And she's like, I don't know why everything is wrong. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's whoever she talks to about it just gaslights her and is like, it's fine. I know she did an interview for the New York Times. And it's all, because she wrote a book about this topic, it's all the same shit. But really, it's a podcast interview, so we actually can't see her body language. So we will not be watching that.
Yeah. Oh, we can't analyze her body language like those brilliant experts on YouTube do for everybody?
No. But if you'd like us to start doing that, please let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, you turned your head. You hate me.
I know.
Yeah, we'll just start like analyzing each other's body language toward each other. And that'll be really constructive for us.
I feel like that happens to me every damn day. And Katie, your face looks like you're upset right now. And I'm like, well, pay no attention to my face. Okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What you're saying now, I am actually now upset.
Yeah. Because basically they're like, you look like a bitch all the time, Katie. That's what they're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? My Botox probably has worn off. So now thank you for reminding me why I thought I needed to get it in the first place. And there have been multiple people that I've told, this is why I get Botox. And then they go, oh, don't do that. And I'm like, well, then fucking shut your trap.
Exactly. Ugh. God, I fucking hate people. I
do too.
Except for you guys. Except for everybody listening to this. I love you all. But people, hate them.
Hate them.
Yeah. Well, can I?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Okay, but this is going... maybe I shouldn't. Because it's kind of going back to the Taylor Frank thing.
Frankie Paul. Yeah.
Frankie Paul.
Ask me.
Because, we were having like a really long sort of text thread conversation with Emily Rose about it. And you guys are going on about all this stuff and like, feelings and comparisons to other like stories. And like, for some reason, I had to like kind of tap out just because I think maybe because I'm not a woman, I don't understand fully like the emotional kind of undergirding of what you guys see in this. Because to me, I'm just like, they're both probably toxic, but you know what? Let's deal with the fact that her toxicity has been recorded. She has put her child in danger. She is a chair-throwing, pupils dilated motherfucker, and she absolutely deserves to have her season of The Bachelorette taken away. Regardless of what the relationship dynamic is, let's talk about her.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm just wondering, like, what are you guys thinking going through?
What's been really interesting, though, that people have pointed out is that we knew about this domestic violence incident since the beginning of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Yeah.
We just didn't see a video of it. So those producers on that show saw something in Taylor and wanted to make a show about her because she is so dramatic.
Yeah.
Which doesn't
That's a really sweet way of putting it. Dramatic. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't make her look good in the grand scheme of things. And it's probably not someone who should be on reality TV. And
it's definitely somebody who shouldn't be on reality TV where it's like we're putting you together for a relationship, but we know you're a known recorded domestic abuser. That's insane.
Because it
They
seems
knew.
like that's what they were doing on purpose.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that they're trying to get her to abuse someone else, but it's for TV. It's just for
Wouldn't put
TV.
it past them. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think that this incident has been really triggering for people online because they keep coming online and saying, well, we know this about that boyfriend that she was throwing chairs at.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I can see both sides. We didn't see him throw any chairs, but maybe he's being emotionally abusive. Does that give her a pass to throw chairs? No. People need to know when to leave, you know?
Yeah.
And then that's me calling a woman, you know, who could be a victim. I could be saying, why couldn't that woman leave? You know? So I feel like there's no right way to look at it. We don't know what's going on. And I think it's then when someone has an opinion, it's just really triggering for everyone, which is why I'm a little bit like, I don't know what happened there. And I don't know a lot about domestic violence or what they want to call retaliatory abuse.
Oh, got it.
Retaliation
Yeah.
abuse?
They're saying she was doing
Abusive
retaliatory
retaliation?
abuse. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know anything about that. So
Yeah.
I don't feel great taking a stand either way because I don't want to defend a man, you know, but also.
Well, also, one thing I realized as we were talking, I'm like, oh, a lot of women have experience with men like driving them probably in some sort of like emotional or physically abusive way, driving them to the fucking edge. And so they're looking at her and they're like, I've been there, or I wanted to be there, or I understand why she's in that state. So I can see, all right. It's interesting. Anyway.
But also, so on the most recent season of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, he went over to her house the night before she was supposed to leave for the Bachelorette. And then she missed her flight. And I'm like, you two need to stay away from each other.
Yeah, but it's also, it's probably two people who love the drama. I mean, that's why these relationships happen. You know, it's just two people who just love, you know, they love love, especially when it's full of passion, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then there's also rumors that like, oh, actually this season of The Bachelorette wasn't very good to watch because Taylor was just thinking about her ex-boyfriend Dakota the whole time. And then when she finally picked someone, she didn't even date him for that long because she just went back to Dakota. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. And wasn't it, we had all known that situation existed. Was this the first time? Because Dakota released that footage.
Well,
he recently
probably gave it to TMZ.
Got it. TMZ.
But we don't know where TMZ got it.
Okay. But I mean, it is interesting that, like, you know, right before, I guess, The Bachelorette is due to premiere, you know, they throw the recorded evidence of her abusiveness. Like, had that recording been available prior to that, or was it just like a story?
It was just what we saw. We saw some body cam footage, which was after the events that happened.
Yeah.
So we saw the police show up and Taylor say, yeah, I was really pissed and I threw a chair, you know, but it's not the same as watching it. I don't think, you know, you can't really imagine it the same way.
But let's also not forget, he's recording the entire time. He's recording while the child is there. He's recording while the child is in danger. So it's just...
Yeah, but if you're an abuse victim and this isn't the first time someone's acted like this, you might start recording too.
That's a very good point. You're right. Yeah.
And they went on after that to have a child together. So he should have left. Why couldn't he leave?
Exactly. Yeah, let's flip it.
I mean, yeah. What was he wearing?
Yeah. Something skimpy. Probably a Speedo and nothing else.
He probably wore a Speedo and she took shots all night. Whose fault is it?
Yeah. Who can tell?
I think it's silly that people think that they can point at whose fault they think it is. But also I understand the feeling of wanting to say, hey, it looks like one thing. We should keep in mind that it could be another thing. And
very true. Very true.
We probably should keep that in mind.
Yeah, but it's, people have this habit of not waiting for further facts to come out before they speculate and create a story that becomes the story. Facts be damned because they came out later. So
no, and it's like media literacy has gone into the toilet. So now,
oh my God, literacy.
Yeah.
It was never very far from the toilet, but it has gone into the toilet in general. Yeah,
exactly.
Can I just talk about something I'm very proud of about our last episode about Meghan Markle?
Yeah.
So we dropped that episode, and then almost immediately the week after, Netflix drops her from the contract, and Variety does a huge article very similar to the Vanity Fair one that we had discussed, where it's like basically she's a nightmare and everybody knows it. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is interesting to me because when it was Buckingham Palace, you could say, oh, they're fabricating this, their PR team. But now it's not coming from them. And there are people, I guess because I was watching a documentary over the weekend, I was like, no one has said anything like this ever about like Drew Barrymore,
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think Drew Barrymore acts like a nightmare, and I'm just thinking that because I saw her do her talk show where I was like, actually, you seem like you're being too nice, Drew.
Yeah.
You're probably exhausted.
Poor thing. But yeah, it's like, I thought it was very, and Tom Bauer, who wrote the book Revenge about Harry and Meghan and their whole thing with the palace. March 26th in UK and Australia, he's got a new book about them called Betrayal. Everybody is jizzing online. They're like, we can't wait. Yeah.
Hey, that's soon. What is that, like this week?
Yeah, it's this week, but the thing is, I got, this is how far I went. I got an alternative VPN program so that I could buy it from Australia, the audiobook when it comes out. Guess how much Australia's charging for that audiobook?
$20.
$62. Yeah. It's a little rich for my blood. I may have to wait until it comes out in stateside. $62. I don't know. Is 62 Australian like $2 American? I don't know how that works.
Oh, yeah. Maybe you should do the conversion before you freak out.
I should probably do a conversion. But, but I'm going to do my damnedest to get my hands on that.
Okay.
Even if I have to commit international crime.
Okay. Well, follow us on Instagram.
I just love how awkward it gets at the end. It's like, we've been doing this for 3 years and we still don't know how to end it.
I always think we should make a recording that I just put at the end, but
oh, that might be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Anyway, follow us on Instagram.
And on Reddit. You can find all these links in our bio. So let's say, hey, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Absolutely. I agree.
Bye.
Bye.
Scrolling through my feed, all I see is bullshit, fake news, clickbait. Gotta sift through all of it. Like share, retweet, trying to keep up with the trends, but it's all just a facade, man. It's all pretend. Online bullshit, that's all it is. You say you're living large, but I know it's just a myth. Online bullshit, can't you see? We're all caught up in the nonsense. It's time to break free.
Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA's heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
Hi, this is Alex Kantrowitz. I'm the host of Big Technology Podcast, a longtime reporter and an on-air contributor to CNBC. And if you're like me, you're trying to figure out how artificial intelligence is changing the business world and our lives. So each week on Big Technology, I bring on key actors from companies building AI tech and outsiders trying to influence it, asking where this is all going. They come from places like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, and plenty more. So if you want to be smart with your wallet, your career choices, in meetings with your colleagues, and at dinner parties, listen to Big Technology Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.